Namaskar. I am Dr. Pawan Sureka. I have been practicing pediatrics for last 40 years in city of Mumbai. Few days earlier, parents brought their child as an emergency because child had fever and child had seizure at home which lasted for 1 or 2 minutes. Now what is a seizure? Child has involuntary movements of limbs, may have tightening or may have movements like this associated with uprolling of eyeballs. Sometimes there may be froth at mouth. All of this may or may not be there. Number of times when a child gets fever, mother or grandparents are worried, डॉक्टर साहब फीवर सर पे तो नहीं चढ़ जाएगा. What do they mean by this? That with fever, child may get convulsion or not. Now here there are two issues. One is fever and second is seizure. Why does our body get a seizure or a convulsion? I am simplifying it. Our brain at any given time has ongoing electrical activity, and this can be measured as electrical waves by an investigation called electroencephalogram. Sometimes if there is an excessive electrical discharge from brain which is sudden and unpredictable, our body gets involuntary movements, that means which are not within our control, and we call it seizure. Any family who has had an experience of seizure with their child, it's a scary experience, and therefore it is right for parents to get alarmed. But the good part of the story is that nearly 3% of normal children get seizure with fever. Majority of them are typical febrile seizure. What does one mean by that? That before the seizure came, before the fever came, child is normal. And after the episode of seizure has passed, after a few minutes, and temperature has subsided, child is again normal. This sort of seizure does not leave behind any neurological problem. Usually, this sort of a story is not responsible for epilepsy or what we call as fit ka bimari or mirgi ka bimari in future. It is a known fact that a child who has had febrile seizure is more likely to get this sort of a seizure with fever again in future. This is common between 6 months to 6 years of age. But again I am reminding you, it does not cause any harm to the child. In case child gets a seizure with fever and the parents are with the child, what do they do? Or if not parents, some person who is looking after the child is only there with the child. The first thing is, if there is a fever, we bring down the fever with just sponging of the body. More the surface area we sponge, faster the temperature will come down. But there is no need to do sponging with ice water. In case there is a froth at mouth, we turn the child sideways so that froth comes out. So that's an emergency treatment for febrile seizure. These days, there are nasal sprays available which can be sprayed inside the nose if the seizure lasts for more than 3 minutes. Let me tell you, in majority of the cases, these sprays are not required. How do we prevent? You said some of them will get it again. How do we prevent it? Can we do something that my child will not get fever again? Or my child will not get seizure again? Can I give some long-term medicine that my child will not get a seizure again? I think point to understand is that this sort of seizures, which are typical febrile seizure, do not cause harm to the child except a temporary emotional trauma to parents. And therefore, there is no need to give any long-term therapy in such cases. Some of us do prescribe an anticonvulsant to be taken at the onset of fever and to continue it for 3 days to decrease chances of seizure with fever, but it's not a foolproof method. The next question comes, why does my child get fever? Fever is body's response to some germs who are born inside, and these germs produce some pyrogens or some toxic material, and the body's temperature gets disturbed. But again, to simplify, I may say that fever is also a protective reflex or a friend of the body which helps body to kill these germs. For an example, we boil milk at home to kill germs. Similarly, body boils our body to kill those germs. Remember, this is a simplified explanation, not a scientific explanation. But it may take away some of your anxiety. So in future, if your child gets seizure with fever, do take the child to a doctor because we need to rule out certain major gross illness. But having done so, if the doctor also does not find anything abnormal, be assured that your child is normal and will not have any major problem in future. Thank you.